We throw in. Cooper and Morrow doing battle for St Kilda. Shelton punches the ball forward. It's picked up by Birt, juggling the ball nicely. Drives towards centre half forward. Fordham's in front of Murray.
Well, I grew up in Ballarat, and I'm always very thankful that I grew up in the country because the facilities for sport, not only football, were fantastic in growing up in a city like Ballarat. And I lived in an area in Ballarat East where two footy teams were great rivals in Golden Point and East Ballarat, who incidentally have now merged, which was terrible. But I grew up there, and a lot of the players of those particular clubs were living in the area where I lived, so we got to know the heroes. But footy was a big deal in Ballarat in those days, both at school and junior footy and so forth. We played on the asphalt road, and my father was very kind to me, and he gave me 2 footies a year, one for Christmas and one in about May, because the football would have worn out almost by end of May, because in those days we all loved to try and kick drop kicks, and kicking drop kicks on an asphalt road, the footy wore out pretty quickly. We had a great gathering of young people after school playing footy in the street. Had to get off the road, particularly for the horse and carts. There weren't that many cars around, but I can remember many horse and carts coming down the street and thinking, wish they'd done, well hurry up, you know, clop, clop, clop. But it was just a great experience. I was attending Ballarat College at the time, and we had never beaten St Pat's College in 49 years. And the final game came up, and we'd beaten them earlier, and this final game we were expected to win, but there was a huge crowd there, and Dick Reynolds and Essendon had heard a little about me, bit about me, and they came to the game. And fortunately, I played all right. And after the game, this man came to me. I didn't know him from bar of soap, and he said, there's somebody over near the gymnasium would like to talk to you. So I went over to the gymnasium, and who should the man be over at the gymnasium but Dick Reynolds? And I found out subsequently that the guy that came up to me was Howard Oakey, who was the chairman of selectors at Essendon. So it was from that day that Essendon became interested in me, and Dick and Hutchie and Howard Oakey came and visited my parents in Ballarat. And after Dick and Hutchie and Howard Oakey had left, they came to me and said, you're going to play with Essendon, because they were just wonderful men. I was awestruck that day. I saw Dick Reynolds standing at the gymnasium, this handsome man with dark black hair that eventually went grey, just to see Dick Reynolds, who was a bit of a god in those days. He was a very kind man. He took a particular interest in me. So he and Hutchie were 2 of the guys that I'd have to sort of put up there on a pedestal. He was helping me with my early life. Dick was sort of like a friend. Coley was like a business man that wanted to get the best out of you. He was able to treat his players individually. I can't remember having a really decent conversation with John Coleman, because he knew that if he treated me a little bit differently, that I would be determined to show him. Like about the 3rd game he ever coached, he dragged me just after half-time. I went to him after the game to find out why I was dragged, and he ignored me. And I thought, I'm going to show you. And I don't want to be a bit of a bragger about this, but in the 7 years he coached, I won the best and fairest 3 times, because every game I went out there, not only to prove to myself and help win a game, but to prove to John Coleman that I was better than what he thought what I thought I was. Well, the culture of Essendon is very special. I was always respected where I went because I was a former Essendon player. And like, I worked at Collingwood for 16, 17 years, and I was always known as John Birt, the former Essendon player. I think that is the beauty of Essendon, that they had this wonderful culture, respected by everybody. Essendon is very, very special, and Essendon will bounce back from adversities all the way along the line.
His head, in comes Neil, number 18, overruns the ball. Sampson knocks it cleverly to Birt. Birt's going to line it up, shoot for goal, and it looks all right for me. It's straight through.
That's John Birt's first goal. There he is, number 11 for Essendon. A great little rover, this fellow. Has played a big part in the Don's success so far in the final series.